Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. firmly ruling out the possibility of the United States gaining access to more Philippine military bases. His remarks come days after a landmark trilateral summit that saw the U.S., Japan and the Philippines signal plans for closer defense cooperation. Mr. Marcos says Manila has no plans to open or establish more bases under their enhanced defense cooperation agreement. The deal currently allows American troops to use almost 10 Philippine military bases, including some located near the South China Sea. Mr. Marcos then made clear that trilateral agreement signed between his country, the United States and Japan was not directed at anyone, but merely strengthened ties between the three. The meeting had sparked alarm from Beijing, who had slammed it as a smear attack on China. But the leader did warn that Manila's mutual defense treaty with Washington would be invoked if a foreign power should kill a Filipino soldier. Mr. Marcos also shut down calls for the International Criminal Court to investigate the deadly campaign against illegal drugs carried out by his predecessor, Rodrigo Duterte, saying he would not hand over the ex-leader to the world body even if it issued a warrant for his arrest. According to official data, more than 6,000 people have been killed in the anti-narcotics campaign, with ICC prosecutors putting the death toll even higher than that. Another human rights issue put before the Philippine leader, the atrocities committed under his father's rule and on whether his government had any plans to address them. CNA's Berna reports.
There will be no apology just yet from Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. in relation to human rights violations committed under his father's rule. His father, the late President Ferdinand E. Marcos Sr., ruled the country for over 2 decades, over 30 years ago. And over half of that 2-decade rule was under martial law, with thousands of dissidents killed, tortured, and detained. But Mr. Marcos Jr. says he is busy with matters of the state, with his role as a Marcos family member taking the back seat.
I don't think it is a duty for a president to be involved. That is a personal matter for the Marcos family.
But you are a member of the Marcos family.
Definitely, but it's more, my role as president is more important right now than my role as a member of the Marcos family.
On whether he will return assets that courts have ruled as ill-gotten and filed against his father's heirs, Mr. Marcos Jr. said that journalists should speak with the family's lawyers instead.
I really haven't looked at it in years.
The Philippine government, by virtue of a law passed by Congress, is already compensating human rights victims under his father's rule. 16 years ago, the then Australian Prime Minister Kevin Rudd acknowledged intergenerational responsibility and apologized for the forced integration of Indigenous peoples to mainstream society in their nation's history in a historic speech that provided closure for many. Karma, a human rights group I spoke with, said they are appalled by this development and are seeking accountability. Buena Bernal, CNA, Manila.